here we go again, as together we are plunging into LucasArts' Day of the Tentacle, following Bernard, Laverne and Hoagie as they try to stop Purple Tentacle from taking over the world, while we cover most of its secrets, Easter eggs, references and odd bits of trivia here and there throughout this entertaining adventure. So to begin with, here's a selection of references and a bit of trivia to munch on as we get into this episode, as there are a small number of situations where dialogue connecting the secret of Monkey Island exist. One of these is activated with Hoagie that pops up from time to time while chin-wagging with the mummy residing in the foyer.
Ever see the movie The Secret of Monkey Island?
Then immediately afterwards, Hoagie can also reel off speech about the three-headed monkey, a custom we have come to see quite a bit thanks to our man, Guybrush Threepwood.
Killer three-headed monkey effect, man.
Another nod towards Guybrush is brought up when Bernard visits Nurse Edna upstairs, who watches the security cameras, though there's no fooling her as for your real identity.
No, my name is Threepwood.
Nice try, but I never forget a fake.
Then finally, by chatting with the cigar salesman, Bernard can say that he looks like many different people, to which, and eventually, he will say his wife thinks he looks like Pirate LeChuck.
Has anyone ever told you you look like Dante Alighieri?
That's strange. My wife says I look like the ghost pirate LeChuck.
Since we are exploring the dwelling many of us tackled all those years ago in 1987 when Maniac Mansion came onto the scene, well, it probably wouldn't come as much surprise to learn that there are a few nods and memories lying about. For instance, when you walk into Weird Ed Edison, he will speak of nightmares when reminiscing about his smart white hamster sporting spots, and speak of a flash of white light, then hearing this sound.
What was the horrible sound?
It was sort of like ding.
That very sound was the microwave going off and his hamster exploding into pieces inside of it, showing Ed at that point would have also resulted in instant death. There is also another reference to these previous steps in time during Laverne's moments 200 years in the future.
Gosh, I hope this isn't like the primitive, dangerous microwave ovens of my century. Those things could really pop a hamster good.
Further, by focusing on Ed Edison's room, check out the computer for two separate secrets. Firstly, by having Bernard talk to the computer, and he will say this.
Hello, little computer. I respect you, even though you've only got 64K of memory.
And this very passage refers to the Commodore 64, as it was the original home of Maniac Mansion. Then, of course, by hitting Use Computer, you can then enjoy the full, fun and original game, though if you are using a more modern computer to run Day of the Tentacle, chances are you are running it via Scum and it won't work directly, so you may have to manually load it up from the game's folders. For this segment, here's a bunch of random and awesome secrets. The first refers to Peter Chan, the lead artist, creator of the game's main cover. You see, whilst helping the masked burglar trying to break into the car outside, take a glance at the number plate where it reads Zach. Zach? Now who's Zach? Well, he's Peter Chan's son, who is also credited at the end of the game. Towards the latter part of the title, Dr. Fred's phone rings in the office. That turns out to be LucasArts informing Fred that his family are being paid a healthy sum of $2 million in back royalties for their time in Maniac Mansion. The chap on the other end is Farley Croc, a play on the name of Kelly Flock, LucasArts general manager. When gaining control of Bernard for the very first time, slide the crosshair over the cactus residing in the corner, where you'll learn the plant's name is Chuck. Chuck the plant made his debut in the original game and has certainly grown since his last appearance, and one might say he's mutated. Amongst Hoagie's time spent 200 years in the past, have him enter the fireplace. He'll then squeeze in, begin scouring the chimney, and then seconds later pop out of the top. Just before though, you'll also see a seagull tugging on a worm, then devouring it before flying away, perhaps back to the world of Loom, since that's where it's from and it's even mentioned in the credits. Hoagie can also look upon a portrait in the hallway upstairs representing Max from Sam and Max. The quote, "His petard runneth over," is actually said to be referring to the single My Cup Runneth Over, released back in 1967. And we're not done with Hoagie just yet either, as I never knew that the name Hoagie was also the name of a sandwich, or more to the point, a submarine sandwich. But it should also be said that Hoagie is indeed the brother of Ben Throttle from LucasArts' Full Throttle, as Ben's name or full name is Ruben, and their mother reportedly named them both after the famous sandwiches. As our time with this incredible title draws to a close, we are certainly going to go out on a high with great references to George Lucas's Star Wars, as in Dr. Fred's office, a Star Wars calendar decorates the wall to the sheer joy of Bernard.
Wow, it's from my favorite movie.
Upstairs in Green Tentacle's room, a Stormtrooper helmet is tucked away. The Couch Potato Home Shopping Network is selling a 4,000 carat diamond for just $2 million, and all calls can be made to LucasArts' hotline number, apparently, as it's 1-800-STAR WARS. When Bernard breaks into the vending machine using a crowbar, $876,600 worth of quarters spill out onto the floor, which is actually the amount needed in order to keep the tumble dryer in the kitchen going to dry the jumper for 200 years, when Laverne can then take it out and give it to the hamster, as 200 years in hours equals... Then divide the total number of hours by 2, since every hour requires 2 25-cent coins for 60 minutes, which gives you a total sum of $876,600. But also, while sifting amongst the coins, Bernard will pick up one from 1977, and he certainly perks up.
Oh, 1977.
As this is the year when Star Wars was released. Right at the death of the game, and yeah, literally only a handful of minutes before the credits, Hoagie, Laverne plus Bernard all end up hopping into the same Chrono-John stall, to which Dr. Fred refers to the film The Fly. Quite fitting too, as all three characters come out on the other side, all appearing to be fused together in one body while they hunt for Purple Tentacle. After completing all the game's tasks, Dr. Fred asks the dynamic trio to get out of his mansion, to which Bernard desperately asks Dr. Fred to get them out of this mess, to which this famous line from Star Wars reels off and concludes our episode.
Help us, Dr. Edison. You're our only hope.
Hey everyone, this is James, and if you ever want to know what else I get up to, then you can always find and follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And if you're new to the channel, then why not subscribe and become part of the journey as we explore secrets, Easter eggs and glitches every single week. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.